Alrighty, good afternoon and welcome to the Chouteau County Library Board of Trustees August meeting. Thank you all for being here today. If you haven't already, there's agendas at the front and please grab one if you'd like one. I call this meeting to order at noon on August 27th, 2025. Okay, going into changes or additions to the agenda. I would like to request a motion to move executive session to after this meeting has been adjourned, since the employee that will be in executive session has waived right to be here.
I so moved.
Is there a second?
Yes, I said.
Is there any discussion over this? Public comment? All right, it has been moved and seconded that we move the executive session to after this meeting has adjourned. May I have a vote for all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. All righty, we're moving into consent agenda. May I have a motion to accept the meeting minutes or financial reports as given?
I actually have a correction that I'd like to make to the August 23rd meeting minutes, which I can't seem to find.
I like it already.
To the
Today.
July.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, well, when did I come? Wasn't it July? Oh, good. Oh, right there. I'm sorry. So, I asked that there be a, correction. Let me find it. Oh, on paragraph 7, unfinished business, E, it says job descriptions, the subcommittee. The subcommittee consists of Szymanski, Ritlin, and Dan Ruther, not Wicks.
So I do have a question for clarification on that. When I went back and watched I could have been mistaken, but when I watched the video, Jocelyn did say that I would be there. That's what the video said.
So what I misspoke too, and so I said, because I also watched this, that isn't that usually Emily, and then we put Nona on as our third. So, and then Nona at the end of that said the three of us would be meeting, and that was when the committee was formed, and she also said that we would be discussing time and place. And that's why that was discussed after the meeting. So that is that subcommittee, and that's how that will stand.
Okay, do we need to?
It's a
motion to
correction.
Get that out?
It's just a correction that we can add.
Okay.
Only. Is there
All right.
any other corrections or additions that we saw in any of these? Questions about financials?
Yeah, I did. I'm just trying to find it. It's where, oh, it's right here. You ordered from Demco $881.38. And so when you do that. What page are you on, if you don't mind?
Bills paid.
June 2025 bills paid.
Okay. And then also $328.45 for a message board. And this is just from my own common knowledge. But number one, it was over 500, and we talked about 500 as being the limit that you could spend without checking with us. And then the other thing is that when you spend that at the end of the quarter, the commissioners really don't like that, because it looks as if you're just finishing out what monies you had. So it was $881.38. Do you want to
Yes.
explain that?
I went through and reviewed what we did have left and what supplies we needed. We tend to wait because we don't want to go over budget before the end of the year. And so it was for a variety of supplies. It's in Fort Benton, but I can pull that list for you. And send it if you would like.
Yeah, because that makes it over $1,000 between the two.
Okay,
I can understand though, you're checking out to get what you need. Yeah, because all that stuff is needed, right?
right. Yep.
But
So I guess then if you can just give that layout for her, that would be.
Great.
Any other changes, additions? We have a motion to accept with the change of the committee for July 23 July 23rd meeting minutes, August 8th meeting minutes, June 2025 financial reports, and July 2020 financial reports. Can we have a motion to accept the consent agenda with the one change?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the consent agenda for all that stuff.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any further discussion? And public comment? All right, it has been moved and seconded that we accept a consent agenda with the changes of the subcommittee, or the correction of the subcommittee. May I have a vote to accept? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, moving into branch reports. Big Sandy is not able to give us that branch report today. They, Triangle is there and they have a loss of service. So she, I don't know if she sent that to
She
you.
said, I talked to her, she said she just want to talk about somebody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll move into Fort Benton.
So Fort Benton for the month of July, our display themes included the American Revolution, arts and artists, books with colors in the title, immigration and citizenship, American historical events, American historical fiction, and Caldecott winners. Most of those were part of the summer reading, Color Our World. I'm part of that, and the bingo, because we had a bingo board with different books to choose from. And projects included summer reading, and we did a month-long Lego challenge through the Montana History Portal. Has put together a virtual trunk that we can use. Sammy Joe had done it here previously, and we had, I think, 11 participants in that, and that went really great.
I bet that was fun.
It was. We got our Legos back out and kids enjoyed building, and some kids brought some from home, so. Yeah.
On history, right? Yeah.
So part of it doing it with the Montana
Portal.
History Portal is they have to find a picture, any picture they want through that portal and recreate it using the Legos, so.
Could you still use Lego dimensions?
We have quite a few Legos right now. And then we were able to, so this would be into August, but enter some of those into the fair. We got permission to take them down to the fair, so that was fun too.
I saw them.
Sammy Joe, would you like to give your report? Yeah.
So I would like to,
Oopsie, sorry.
nope, that's okay. It goes with hers, but I had received a correspondence that I would like to read about Geraldine, if that's okay. Dear Emily, I've been meaning to write for some time because I want to tell you how much I enjoy using the Geraldine Branch Library. Sammy Jo is doing an outstanding job as our director. It's always so neat and clean. She has great programs for all her patrons, and she's so helpful when you need help finding books. I hope she'll be in her position for a long time. Like everything else, I imagine the operating budget doesn't have much wiggle room, but I wonder if there's a way our library could add Fridays to the days open. I see so many kids in there using the facility, and for some reason, I managed to run out of reading material on Fridays. Thank you for providing such a pleasant, capable director. So that was from Joalice Judeman from Geraldine.
Thank you for sharing.
So I wanted to share that.
Great job, Sam Jo.
So Geraldine, our themes for July were art, color, and artists. We completed summer reading program. I had 11 readers ages 0 to 5, and then 37 readers ages 6 to 12 for a total of 48 children. We had 16 teens and adults that participate in the bingo. I served 106 students in our lunch program through the health department and the Backpack Buddies program. And then I did the bat house build the last day of July that we were open. And that was a huge undertaking. We built 10 bat houses and painted them, and they have been mostly distributed around town. A couple of people are still waiting to come pick theirs up. I paid with that through Democracy Project funds because I had extra funds there, and it was a community project. Ali Manuel and Kelly Egan came all the way from Missoula to help us. Kelly happened to be in Fort Benton for the season, but they both came out here to help. I had 18 people attend that program, and we seem to get a lot of really good feedback from it. So hopefully we'll have that from Geraldine to help with our mosquitoes. It would be so lovely. And then I did compile a little spreadsheet for everybody. This is from my time when I started until now. It just kind of shows all of the numbers and how things have progressed, especially summer reading program the last few years, to show just kind of that we're trying to build something here in our library and make it a community place for everybody to come and utilize.
Do you think having hours on Friday would be helpful?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Mondays, I would like to continue to be open. I know that, Dawn was open Tuesday through Friday before I started. But if you're in school and you need to start a school project or work on homework, Monday's a much better day to start than Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, or Friday. So I would like to continue to stay open Mondays, but I have had quite a few people tell me how much they would like us to be open on Friday and how they would like us to even be open earlier if potential, because I'm only open 11 to 5, Monday through Thursday. Yeah, so. it would be
So
wonderful.
You want to add, you don't want to like
No.
take Tuesday off and add Friday, okay.
Yeah.
So you have good attendance or patrons coming the other days too?
Yes, so last month alone, I had 485 people come into our library. So that's double our population. That's pretty good.
Yeah. This is inspiring me for highway, so.
Thank you.
Um,
Yes, yeah, yeah. We added 4 hours last year. To help with summer reading and doing the lunch program. That way we can do summer reading and serve lunch all before 12:30-ish. So that really helped, being open 11 to 5, but even more, I think people would really appreciate, and I have told them, well, if you feel that way, please write a letter and we will get it to the board. So more probably coming your way. They're just not here yet. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So, can I add? We used to have a thing where it said kudos or some, so I want to thank all the librarians and director and Sandy Geraldine and Fort Benton for a great summer reading program.
Janice? Can we move into director's
We can do
report?
this.
I can't do that.
Give us any stuff.
Yes, so there is, so I'm not gonna, I sent a written kind of a report about it, and I will just highlight a couple things. Also, I went online, so this was about the book, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. It's available. We have it at the Fort Benton Library to read, or the audio book is available through the Libby app. So it talks about the 5 main things that can affect teams. Absence of trust, fear of conflict, lack of commitment, avoidance of accountability, and inattention to results. In a positive spin, because dysfunction, of course, is not a super positive word. I think that was for the title, for the attention grabbing, but a more positive approach. Members of truly cohesive teams behave in these ways. They trust one another. They engage in unfiltered conflict around ideas. They commit to decisions and plans of action. They hold one another accountable for delivering against those plans, and they focus on achievement of collective results. So I went online. There were some materials available online that I also included for you to look at, including a couple of team building activities that I hope to do at our next staff training. So I included those. So if you have any questions about any of that,
When is your next chapter?
I'm not sure yet. I was gonna wait till after that,
The meeting with them.
the meeting with Adam Jesperson. Yep.
Would you remind me when that is?
Yeah, that is, that's
Yeah,
coming up, but it's October 6th.
Yep.
Okay.
It's,
Oh,
None.
oh, yes, yes, okay,
I
sorry,
didn't-
just
I didn't
too much
remember
water,
setting.
too much water, okay. Yeah.
Did you have something?
nope.
Okay.
And then that was,
Thank you.
oh, I guess I'd had someone request, Nancy LaChapelle, came and she did great all over town, but the library won some ribbons in the horticulture department at the fair. So she took some flowers in for us. Yeah.
Flowers with them.
All right, moving into announcements and dates to remember, all branches of the Chouteau County Library System will be closed on September 1st in observance of Labor Day. On September 15th and 16th is the fall workshop for directors and trustees. I believe Emily has signed up for that.
I am signed up.
I
Yes.
also signed up. I think it might be something good for all of us to look into if that's possible, and our deadline is September 7th. And then October 6th is our training with Adam Jesperson. That's with all of us trustees and the foundation members. That will be from 9 a.m. to noon
In Fort Bend.
in Fort Benton at the library. Yes.
And I'm signed up.
And you're bringing stones?
Yes, I'll bring some. Might as well for breakfast, right? Okay, we'll go into unfinished business now, and we have a few policies to review. Our first one will be the public information request policy. I'd like to have a motion at this time to accept the public information request policy. We'll have discussion after our motions if there's something to discuss.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the Chouteau County Library Public Information Request Policy. Is that the right one? Okay.
Is there a second?
I will second it.
Okay, and then can we move into discussion over that? Yes, you may. Thank you, Kim.
I'd like to say I don't have any problem with this policy. I don't think it's a great idea to have a policy when we're under an existing state law. So I'll probably vote no, just because I'm not sure if it's a great idea to have a policy when there's something that else we have to follow.
Thank you for your input. Is there any other input in regards to this policy? Okay, is there any public comment over this policy, the current policy that we're discussing, which is the public information request policy?
What is that? What is that policy? I mean, public information request, what is it?
So this is
Public
one that
info-
we've discussed for the last few meetings. It's in regards to, I'm sorry. If there's public comment, I'd like you to stand up and state
Oh.
your full name. I'm very
I'm
sorry.
Janet Jordan,
Thank you, Janet.
Janet King Jordan, I grew up here.
Perfect.
I just want to know, what is an information request?
Yeah, so it's if a patron requests information from us as a board or of a library, then it goes through a review process. If it exceeds a certain amount of hours for our librarians or whoever's collecting that data, that as a staff member, there will be a fee, but that, like most of these, I don't think would actually require that. And that fee goes through our county. we're following the county schedule in regards to that. So that is the gist of that policy, is
Okay.
that,
Okay.
we're reviewing what is being asked of us and then determining what is needed after that. Yes, Lisa.
Do you mind?
No,
Even
please.
after, okay. So I'm a little confused by Kim's statement about where we already have state law. I guess I don't understand I don't understand what you mean by that, I guess.
So can I,
No, I'm asking Kim.
okay, because I did talk to Lana Clausen about it as the board asked me to do, so I can respond also, I think. Well,
Well-
not to hers, but
Yeah,
from what information that I
I just
gathered.
don't understand what you mean by that.
As I understand it, we have to follow Montana state law when it comes to freedom of information or public, that's not the correct, because freedom of information is federal. When
Okay,
we have a request for public information, we have to follow Montana state law.
and you don't think this is?
I think it's probably fine, but I think if we have a policy and then Montana state law changes, if we don't catch it, which I don't keep up on Montana state law changes. So I'm worried that if we don't update this policy when the Montana state law changes, we're gonna be doing what we shouldn't. Which, like I said, that's just my opinion.
Okay.
I'd be interested in yours since you're
Well,
a lawyer.
So, yeah, I do have an opinion, funny thing. But, we can make our own policy as long as it follows the state law. It can be stricter. It just can't be broader. So if this is stricter, we're fine. If this is broader, then we do need to make changes. I've looked it over. It appears to me to be within the parameters of the state law. So I think that if the state makes a change to the open meeting law, I think that they'll tell people. I mean, I think that'll be a big deal. Because the state agencies will have to comply, all the county government will have to, I think the county commissioners will know immediately. And because they'll have to make sure that, everything complies. So I guess I don't think that that's of concern for us. So that's just my opinion too. So.
Any other comments from our board members? Janet or Nona, you haven't spoken yet. Is there anything you would like to
I would
add?
agree. Yeah, I would
Well,
agree.
it was actually, it's the same one that the Montana State Commission uses. So it has gone through the government, it has gone through their lawyer. And it does state the MCA, Montana Records Act, 2-6-1002. And also in the policy, it states the Montana Code Annotated 22-1-1101. So those are all, if you understand Montana code, those are all gone through the legislature and our law. So that is stated in the policy.
Thank you.
So I did talk to Lana Clausen just to see what is at the county level, and she said the county itself does not have a policy because they follow code. And so they don't at the county level. So I'm not saying against this one or whatever, but yeah. So there's not a county policy for the library board to follow because the county does not have a policy outside of Montana code.
May I
Yes, please.
address this? So are you concerned that there isn't a Chouteau County fee schedule?
No, I am just telling you the information that I gathered. I said I was directed to ask if the county already had a policy in place. And Lana said that there is not a policy in place. The county follows state code.
But there is a fee schedule.
With state code, yes, there
No.
is.
Oh, under state code, not,
And I
the
think-
county doesn't have a
I
separate fee.
think that's what Lana is saying, is that the county follows state, so that if we're following county, we're following state.
Yes.
For this fee
For the fee
schedule?
schedule.
Okay, okay.
So then,
Yeah, my main question was, does the county have a separate one from the state? And she said no.
And you specifically asked her as to the fee schedule.
No, I just asked if they had
Okay.
policy.
a public information request policy on record. I can ask.
I know that county commissioners were asked the same information and their fee was going to be $171. I don't know how they came about that, but they do have something that they followed.
Okay. I guess that's why I'm confused, is because I thought somebody suggested we can follow the county's fee schedule. So I'm a little confused why there doesn't seem to be one. So, that just confused me, so.
So I'm hearing that that should probably be taken out and we should check this once again. For specifically for fee schedule. What I'm hearing Lisa say is we shouldn't have Chouteau County fee schedule if there isn't actually one present.
Could we change it to in accordance with the fee schedule used by Chouteau County?
Or the one that the state uses. Because that's what Montana Commission. And this is a copy, almost word for word from Montana State Commission.
You know, that's up to, I have no opinion. I have no opinion.
Well, it seems like if we change that second to last sentence to charge in accordance with the fee schedule used by Chouteau County, all we do is add one word and switch to.
I would agree with that.
So it doesn't really change the meaning at all, but it should follow.
Clarify.
Yeah, sorry, second to last sentence on the bottom of the first page.
So do we just correct this?
I think we could, I would call for a motion then.
What are we changing it to, please? Please.
Madam Chair, this is Sissy Felton. Can I kind of speak to that? Because I did get charged by the commissioners and how they did it. I got charged for each commissioner's hourly wage. And then if I, so much per copies that they gave me, but that was just their standards they use of an hourly wage of the person doing it.
Okay, thank you for your input.
Thank you.
Okay, so back to our motion. I'm calling for an amendment of our motion to include a change in the second to last, well, yeah, it's not the second. On the first page. On the first page to include
Used.
You just by the Chouteau County.
With the,
how did you word that, Kim? Used by
let's see, charge in accordance with the fee schedule used by Chouteau
Chouteau
County.
County. Thank you. Could I have a motion?
I make a motion to. What do we call this? Change, amend the motion that is on the floor to say whatever.
Used by Chouteau.
Yes.
Is there a second?
I will second it.
Okay, it is moved and seconded to accept the Chouteau County Library Public Information Request Policy with an amendment to the second to last sentence to be changed to used by Chouteau County. All in favor, oh, excuse me. We've had discussion. Is there any further public comment in regards to this? Okay, then may I have all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And that passed. All right. We are moving on to our policy in regards to cooperation with other agencies. This was brought up at our last meeting and we decided to have that removed from our policies. So I would like to have a motion to formally remove the cooperation with other agencies policy from our policy handbook.
I also make a motion to remove the cooperation with other agencies policy from our handbook.
Okay, is there a second?
I will second.
Is there any discussion in regards to this, ladies? Any public comment? Okay, seeing as there is none, all in favor, removing cooperation with other agencies policy from our handbook. Please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, and then we're moving into our gifts policy. This is for discussion only today.
So I did not include that in today's packet because it is in the policy binder. And it was just for discussion and not an action item.
This one, it was last.
2022.
These that we're reviewing right now are 3 years old. So this is our last one to review.
Yep, from 2025.
2022.
December 7th of 2022 is the last meeting.
Well, this one says 10/31/22. There was a different one?
Mine says December 7th.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
Maybe that was-
I could read it out loud if you would like. It's fairly short. I mean,
Sure, we could do that for our patrons that are present.
Gifts policy, all gifts such as books, magazines, pamphlets, audiobooks, CDs, DVDs, and furnishings, i.e. furniture, pictures, paintings, wall hangings, etc., are accepted with the understanding that the acquisition librarian, director, and/or the Board of Trustees may use their discretion as to their use and disposal. The same criteria will be used for adding gifts to the collection as is used for the purchase of similar materials. All memorial books and materials should be retained until their physical state, checkout record, level of use, or outdated information contained therein precludes use. At that time, they must be disposed of in the same manner as other materials in the collection. Librarians do not appraise materials, receipts for the number of items, but not the value of items donated will be given on request.
I guess my one question would be, who is our acquisition librarian? Is that whoever at which branch receives them? Or is there a specific person that is our acquisition librarian? I'm not aware of that.
I'm not either. I would like that question answered too.
And I also had the Montana code annotated about this.
Maybe it's an outdated term that we should just eliminate it, or just say librarian.
Is there someone specified as that, Emily? Or is it just saying that the people that,
I believe that it is like the purchasing. Because the person who's doing
purchasing?
The
Is that what
purchase-
that is
yeah.
saying?
yeah. Because then it's the same criteria will be used for adding gifts to the collection as is used for the purchase of similar materials. Would be my understanding.
Maybe we should define it in the policy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so, because that
Yes.
So,
leads to a lot of questions.
yeah.
Well, and I, there's another question that I have. So if books or stuff is as defined by this, are given to a specific branch in memoriam because it's like they want the
Mhm.
books or
Mhm.
whatever to
Mhm.
stay at that
Mhm.
branch,
Mhm.
I think we should address that as
Yeah.
well.
I agree.
And we had that brought up in our June meeting in Big Sandy. the
Oh,
books that-
sorry.
No, I'm glad you spoke to it because that refreshed my memory, but that was brought up,
Mhm.
that books were brought there and aren't there. And
Mhm.
not that the patron was upset, but they did bring that to light.
Does the current software you guys use have any sort of ability to do something like that, like must remain at a location? Or would there have to be a separate inventory tracking
I mean,
system?
Like if you're specifically talking about books, books are shared throughout the system. So if someone from Geraldine wants to check out a book from Big Sandy, I don't know if the board would want to preclude books from being able to be borrowed across the system.
No, I
Yeah.
think what's being said is that when it's donated to that branch,
Mhm.
that's where it's housed and then it can be.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But then it comes back to
Right.
that library.
Right.
Yeah.
There are ways, I've been wanting to work on this since I've started to take a whole, let's say, what, I'm trying to find
Daniel Steele.
like Daniel, something where you can take a whole set of books and it can live in a library for 4 months. And then that shows that that home location is there for however long, because sometimes, especially, well, not even just with kid books, but with authors, like something will become popular. So then, Sammy Joe just mentioned that there is a bunch of people in Geraldine now who want to read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And so we have that book. And so we had a request to bring it here. And so then Sammy Joe said, oh, well, we have a few other people who want to check it out. Can we keep it here for a while? Yeah, like it doesn't have to go back to Fort Benton and then be rechecked out to somebody in Geraldine and back to Fort Benton and back. I think the part in the gifts policy that we want to make sure is that sentence. The same criteria will be used for adding gifts to the collection as is used for the purchase of similar materials, which goes back to the collection management policy. So it's not we want to make sure that that the policies aren't written that paint the board into corners or to limit it too much,
Can I
so.
address that?
Yes, please, Janet.
Okay, so the Montana Code annotated 2023 says, trustees' powers. Trustee have the power to accept gifts, grants, donations, devices, or bequests of property, real or personal, from whatever sort, and to expand, to hold, to work, and to improve the same purpose of the gift, grant, donation, device, and request. So that kind of turns it back to the trustees rather than one particular person. I mean, this is a law. So,
May I speak to that now, Joe?
Yes, please.
I can see that. I think it might be wiser for the person handling collections to have some formal training. And I think most of the staff are more likely to have formal training on how to do collections. So I personally would not like to take on the job of going through all donations. I don't know if anyone else feels.
Can I speak?
Yes, please.
I just think that I just want to address the in memoriam ones. And I think we can narrowly, just say if the memorial gift is made and they specify when they give the gift that they want it to be housed in a certain brand.
That's current practice.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Is that in any of the policies?
I could not pinpoint that, no, but that
Well,
if
we could pinpoint it then.
if donations are made, if monetary donations are made in someone's, you have in your obituary, please, can make it, and that money is money that goes through the foundation. But it is earmarked in the foundation. Tanya Allen, as foundation treasurer, keeps record of that. And so then those monies are spent in the way that usually the family will say, we want adult fiction, or we want, there was one out of Big Sandy when I first started that was for like STEM, science and engineering materials, not necessarily books, but other Lego robotics and things like that. So then that money is for sure used for that branch.
Is that the same though for other things that are donated, such as? books?
Well, Lisa said she was
Right.
specifically talking about it
Sure.
in memoriam, so that's the question that I was addressing.
Well, you addressed the question about money, but I really, that doesn't surprise me that that's the policy. I just wondered about books and if we couldn't, and stuff, not money. If that's part of the something that we already have, or if we need to specifically state it in this gift policy.
yeah,
Um,
especially when you go back into what it says for the specific use of the grant policy.
Yeah.
That should be in on it because it is Montana law.
So I guess I would like clarification. Are we saying that all donations, book donations, all donations will be accepted no matter what? Is that what you're?
No, I think she's seeing if there's a current system so that people who donate can know which branch they'll stay in. possibly a way to, so we've had talks before about there's policy that we handle and there's procedure that staff can handle. Possibly we can talk about having a procedure where there's a receipt or some sort of form filled out during donations, and part of that can
We
be,
currently have,
part of it could be,
a
do you
page
want
like
this
that.
to stay at a location? And I think there
oh,
should be a
is that,
time limit.
okay.
Like possibly, because it would make sense to share materials, but possibly there could be like, this will stay at this branch for 5 years, or the person can say something about like, I would like this forever.
But still to be able to rotate through. I think that's what we were trying to get out
Mhm.
earlier, that it
Yeah.
can still rotate through.
Be checked out throughout the branch.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I mean, there's some items, right, that are in library use only because of their
Oh,
delicacy.
yeah,
Yeah, or value,
Mhm.
valuableness of that. There's
that don't
also,
leave the building.
Is there a current procedure or policy that kind of addresses that?
Send this policy.
Um,
It's not
For
really in the collection management part. is it?
where they will stay.
Yeah, if.
No,
the
'cause
previous
I-
patron-
I look at it as a whole system. I don't necessarily look at it as an individual building.
But it sounds like there's some patron request,
Mhm.
so it's a thought.
We can look over just send it to the policy committee and look over it again.
But I would guess one of the big stumbling blocks is the software. Can the software have something to currently, so when they check out a book, they have that information at hand? of
In
like
the
this-
current software, there is it's called home location
Okay,
is what it is called. And that's even within, not necessarily the Geraldine Library so much because it's one room, but in Fort Benton, there is the children's room. So the home location for those books are like in that. So it physically tells not only what library it's in, but where it is located in the library. So Big Sandy has their children's room and their Montana room and their section. So there is that.
so possibly you could add a label like, Geraldine Memoriam, and that would let. staff
Well,
know.
we
Can you do?
don't,
Person, or can you do
I
values?
do not do for
custom
like
values?
memorial or donation, just this book is a book that's been added to the collection. For most memorial books themselves, we do have a physical paper plate that goes in. This book was donated in memoriam by
And maybe
the Women's Club
And maybe I'm misusing a term. I guess, could you do a custom, label there that had basically stayed in this branch until this date? Like you have children's room, you have this room, and
or
there's
just
say like
that
Big
then
Sandy branch.
becomes more
Like,
burdensome, I
28.
think, than. I mean, that's kind of what a gift is we're giving this to
Okay.
the system.
I'm hearing a lot of similar conversations, so I think at this point, the best solution we could have is send this back to, since it was a discussion today, we'll send this back to the policy committee to review again. And we'll review it again on, or excuse me, our September meeting. All right. So we'll move into job descriptions, and this is just going to be an update today. We, and I'm giving that update on behalf of our subcommittee. We were not able to meet a second time as we wanted. And we really would like to give all that we have discussed and will eventually provide as a whole package. And that hasn't been accomplished yet. So our next time of meeting and the date and time will be, of course, posted again. I'll get a hold of Emily for that. But currently most of the job descriptions have been, we think, pretty well solidified, but we have a few that we'd like to keep reviewing.
There, should we discuss the letter to receive?
No, I think we'll just move on now and we'll go into our bylaws discussion. I asked Emily to add our mission statement and vision statement to our bylaws for us. I think that's in here as well today.
So I did include that in the packets because it is updated from what was
Yeah.
currently in the
And then
policy.
the amendment has also been changed, but I also had a trustee ask for the ability to discuss this as well, so I'll open that discussion now,
Which discussion?
in regards to the bylaws. And what did you have that you wanted to?
Yeah, I know, Article 2, Section 2, we do have to change how the vacancies are put in through the everything, and we have that all written down where it goes to the county commissioners. And all the applications go to them, and then they make.
That was the amendment, and I
Yes.
think Emily put that in
Yes.
this current one.
So on section 4, it says the secretary of the board of trustees shall be notified if a member becomes disabled. And it contradicts what's written in section, in section 6, okay, where it goes on to contact.
I don't see it section
So where's
6
that
though.
from?
I don't,
Is this Article 2, Section 6?
This
There's
is
the
Article
Article
3, section 6. Where it does say the secretary of the trustee, so if we can just say the secretary or the chairman of the board. That, then they would be the same.
Okay, so if the chairman of the board is sick, they just have to contact the
Mhm.
secretary.
Yes.
So that's just for officers, and Article
Yes,
3
I
is
realize
just
that,
about.
but either way,
officers.
I think that the chairman of the board can be also notified if they.
So the only officers are the chairman of the board and the vice chair,
Mhm.
correct? Is that,
Mhm. But this one states. It states that. It states, the secretary of the board of trustees shall be notified. So it should be either or, not just the secretary.
Doesn't it say that in
it does say,
page 3?
yeah,
It's a secretary
Or
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 trustee.
trustee.
Yeah, but it doesn't in section 4, under section 2.
I
Oh,
think,
I
I
see what
think
you're saying.
section 4 is for if someone is unable to continue as a trustee at all, not just for one meeting
And not just the officers.
attendance, and section 6 has to do with a particular
I
meeting.
understand that.
But I think you're right.
So what
Should be
needs to be
consistent.
changed?
It just needs to be added. So the secretary of the board of trustees or a trustee should be
section
added
6.
Are we
under
doing-
section 4.
Are we doing trustee or chairman?
And we're just,
Trustee would be.
so they match.
Consistent.
We just, yeah,
So officers, so must contact the secretary or a trustee,
Mhm.
or the chairman. Okay.
I still need clarification. I don't
So
understand where we are.
section 4, first
On
sentence,
page 3, right? Well, no, we're on the back.
yeah,
It's page 2. I thought.
the first sentence will.
It is on page 2.
Or if a member becomes disabled or incapacitated, the secretary of the board of trustees or a trustee shall be notified.
right.
Can we declare a position vacant, or does the board, or does the county have to do that? The county commissioners?
Are you saying, can we?
Because it says once there's notification, then,
It's boom.
then once there's notification, the position is declared vacant. I just wondered if we are allowed to declare it vacant, since we're not allowed to fill it, I suppose.
I think we can declare it and then the commissioners fill it.
Okay.
That's not.
We don't have to loop the commissioners in on that notification.
Well, we would, and I think it clarifies that, doesn't it, in our amendment?
So I have another question. If, since we're on section 4, it says may result in a trustee's removal from the board by a quorum, and then you have 3 majority vote of trustees. What's the 3 for? Is it a quorum? Is a quorum considered a majority? Or, because that is a majority, but to have quorum and majority in the same, that doesn't,
Not necessary.
well,
Yeah.
you can have a different you can define quorum as something different than the majority. So,
Okay.
so we have to be careful
Mhm.
because we need to know what a quorum is. Otherwise, we should just use majority.
Okay.
I think that was for clarification that for this particular board, it means 3 people.
But if we have,
But we
I
can
think,
change that. We
so,
can,
so 2 people are kicked off the board, then it'd have to be, we still need 3. Correct? Because we define it as 3.
well, okay, if that's what we're defining. quorum
We're
is.
saying that
Right, so if we take out
that's
that
why we
3,
want the quorum out.
then it can be whatever a
It can be
quorum is.
majority vote.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That makes
We
sense.
just cross out.
Well,
Quorum?
what, I guess I think that we either have to not use quorum
Mhm.
and say it's a majority vote of the trustees. And
Oh,
maybe that would be more clear, because like you said, if for some reason we lose 2 trustees, so we're down to 3 trustees, then we'd have to have a unanimous vote.
because we defined it as 3.
Yes,
Mhm.
and so if you take out the 3 in the quorum, then you,
so just cross those out. Is that what you're saying?
well, it's a suggestion. I just think it's a little confusing to have both words.
Okay.
But we can certainly keep quorum, but then I think we need to define what a quorum is.
So if we just remove quorum 3. If we had a 5-member board, 2 weren't there for, say, holidays, would 3 still be a majority vote, or in that case?
2 would be a majority vote.
I think maybe that's what they're trying to prevent, that if there's 2 people not at the meeting, then it would only take 2 people to remove someone.
If that's what we want to do, I mean, this is ours,
Yeah.
so we get to define what we want to do.
I like it.
Well, I think we should give this some thought.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's,
Um,
that's why it is here, is for that discussion, and that is something to think about.
So you have that majority or 3 also in section 8 on page 3. On section 7, I meant to say.
And
yeah, I just think it's confusing.
Mhm. Okay.
so it should be one way or the other in all of these pages there, right?
Right, and again, if we're gonna use quorum, which is fine with me, I just think we need to define what a quorum is.
Okay.
Yeah,
So in section 8, and then where was the other one?
section 4. Oh, and
Oh,
section,
right above it.
yeah, and right above it,
Thank you, Janet. I found it.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, on the next article on page 3 is the committees. It's a study, and then it says 2 trustees and 1 other person. And right now, because of the fact that we need public there, if we have 2 or more, that 1 other person does not need to be in there.
So, okay, so just put a period after 2 trustees and take out the whole.
Do we want
Yeah.
to specifically say that we only have up to 2 trustees on a committee? Because I think at this point we have 3 on the job description. Right?
And you see if up to means that, so if we put 3, we can still have 2 people on a subcommittee, because that's
Mhm.
included within the 3. So
Mhm.
that's also something we should think about. Yeah,
I don't know if you have to consist up to 2 trustees. I mean, yeah, it's just.
so, yeah, I think it's very confusing to say, and we're putting in 1 other person.
Yeah.
We're gonna pull them out of the audience, or
Yes,
I'm gonna bring my
exactly.
daughter.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Do we take that out?
yeah.
But I think we should think about up to two
Three.
trustees. Do we want to say up to three trustees?
I think
that would
that's
be
what
perfect.
Kim's question
Yeah,
was.
Or just eliminate the number altogether,
yeah, she'll consist of trustees and then we
Yeah.
can
Mhm.
decide, yeah.
Yeah.
because it sounds like originally, I think the two was to avoid, having a quorum, which requires open meeting, that sounds like.
But
maybe
it
it's
doesn't
open
work
meeting.
anymore.
Open meeting.
Yes, it's an
regardless.
open meeting. That's what I was trying to say.
So
It should
just
go
take
along
out
with-
the whole sentence? Is that what
Or
we're?
just shall consist of
Trustees,
Trustees.
period.
Mhm.
who shall serve until completion. of the
Yeah.
work.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I do kind of like. So you guys don't want the secretary taking minutes of the committee meetings.
It's not
It's not
necessary.
necessary.
Okay, but if it's an open meeting, don't we have to have minutes of an open meeting?
Yeah, but you can, the
You-
person.
Not if no action is being taken,
Mhm.
Okay,
which is not the point. Well, it says she'll present their progress and recommendations at the regular. So they're not gonna be, the subcommittees aren't taking any action.
okay.
So there's no,
Yeah.
they can't give, the public can come, but they can't give public comment.
Okay,
And then we bring our findings back.
and
We
we
voted
voted
on
on
it,
to have
right?
minutes of
Well,
any public meeting, even if we don't take any actions at that. public meeting.
well, we can, but one of the trustees can take the minutes then.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be the secretary.
Okay,
And actually, I personally think that it's not a good idea to have the secretary or the director, who is the secretary for the regular and special meetings, because that's taking her away from her job.
okay.
When no
So it's
action
making
is. Yes, exactly. Yeah,
So, and then I have one more on page 5. And that's section 2. It says that in consultations with and from recommended the director. So our Montana Code annotates says the Board of Trustees shall be the sole body responsible for the adoption, amendment, and repeal of all library policies. The director may recommend policies to the board for consideration, but shall not have the authority to create or enact them independently.
you can put that language in
Okay.
verbatim if you want. I mean, then we
It's
know we're
verbatim.
okay.
It's from Montana Code
Yeah.
annotated 22-1-3.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I think just put that language in
Okay,
instead of what is in section 2 right now.
okay, thank you.
I mean, that would be my suggestion.
To clarify.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So then section 3, the library may speak, section 3, the library director shall be the executive director of the policies adopted by the board,
Yes,
as noted, and
that is
that's how it is.
accurate.
Yes,
Yes.
that is accurate.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
Any other discussion in regards to the bylaws? So that will also go back to the policy committee again for those corrections, additions, and we'll review that again at September meeting. Okay, we're moving on to our DES update. Alex was going to be here today.
She is on Zoom
Oh,
now.
perfect. So Alex, if you're available, I would love to hear, we would all love to hear your update in regards to this.
Yes, my apologies for not being there in person. I got hung up at the office and was worried I wasn't gonna make it there in time, but I probably could have.
No.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, wait 1 second. Just now try again.
Can
Can
you
you-
hear me okay?
I'm trying to see if it's.
Oh.
Be that way. Oops. Okay,
Is
try
that
it again.
better?
Is that-
thank you. Okay. So I have a document that I've been working on, that I want to put out for you guys to review however you so choose. Generally, the more people involved, the better the end result. I know Janet has reached out to me, and then I went and toured the Fort Benton branch with Emily and got their information, and then both the branch managers from Big Sandy and Geraldine have compiled a list of information that was contributed to the document as well. So at this point in time, it's ready for other people to look over and add and subtract and proofread as necessary.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Alrighty, so
In the document, I have, I'm waiting on a floor plan from Big Sandy. I believe they have one, I just don't have it yet. And then I have floor plans for Fort Benton that address their evacuation routes, and Geraldine as well.
Okay, thank you, Alex.
And the entire floor plan for Big Sandy is in that foundation book that I gave to you. So you have it.
So then in regards to the DES, as Alex said, that she would like multiple people on that, Janet, I would like you to be our board representative for that, since you have that background. Would appreciate if you could be the spokesperson there, or liaison, or however you want to address that. And then Emily brought to my attention on Friday that she spoke with Keith Valentine and his associates, and they came up with. Would you like to speak to that for the,
Yeah, so the plans that we have posted around the Fort Benton Library are not oriented quite the right way. I think they were done in the early 2000s or the late 1990s, and I was talking to Sarah Kratzner from Highwood about that. She works in Keith Valentine's office, so she saw him that night and chatted with him. She's actually on today to talk about that. I'm gonna let her go first, I think, and then, is that okay? And then I can speak more to what my thoughts were.
yeah, that's fine. I didn't realize she was on.
Yeah,
Yep,
she
go ahead.
is on. Go, there we go.
Okay. Hi, guys. Can you guys hear me okay?
We can, Sarah.
Hey, hello, everyone. So for anyone that doesn't know me, I live in Highwood, frequently at the library. Anyways, so I do work for B-Spark Architecture, which Keith Valentine is one of the owners. Sophia Sparkland is the other owner of the firm. Sophia lives in Highwood, for those that don't know. So we're a local firm. But I did speak with Emily regarding the need for maybe some updated blueprints and plans for the Fort Benton Library in relation to the emergency evacuation plans. So we did prepare this proposal for you guys, which I believe you all have in front of you. Is that correct, the board?
Yes.
Okay. And so essentially, what we would do would be, I would come to the library and I would scan with our 3D scanner the entire building of the Fort Benton Library. This would serve a few purposes. It'll give you an updated floor plan, how each room is being used. Not only can we get floor plans from that we then draft in our software to give you guys like a PDF version layout, but we also then have kind of a full inventory of everything that's in the Fort Benton Library, so that, could be used for your purposes as well, if insurance or whatever you need that for, if you want it. But essentially we do the scan and then we put that into our software. Our drafters would get you then an updated floor plan. These would show the relevant emergency things you needed. I think Keith laid that all out in the first page of exactly kind of mechanical rooms, all of that. They would not be comprehensive plans, so this would not be something you could use for like building, adding on in the future, but it would be a starting point for that if ever needed. So I don't know. Emily, I don't know if you have any other questions or how else, but I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have.
In looking at it and looking at the capital improvement plan, I thought this would be a great thing to have. We can have it as part of our DES or EOP plan. And then they would be able to, Sarah was talking about how we'd be able to do that. She could make adjustments to have it posted by the elevator. So what is in the EOP plan is gonna look different than what's posted on site, right? Patrons don't need to know where our shut off water valve is, things like that. So we would have,
In fact.
right, and so we could have different mapping results from this one project as needed. And then also looking at the capital improvement plan, like if we're talking about lighting, then we can put on there where the lights are, which again, you're not gonna have that in your EOP because that is not needed. The firefighters don't need to know where the light fixtures are, things like that. Unfortunately, as I'm gonna talk about under new business, the elevator is 30 years old and is showing its age. So I thought that this would be able to be paid for out of our professional expenses. Over the last 6 years, we've only come close to using that money one time, but now with these elevator repairs, so I did include this. Anyway, I'll talk about that in the next part. This might be an expense that we may need to go to the foundation for now.
And that's my
due
main
to
concern with
limitations,
this
so.
is the cost of
Yeah,
this.
I think it
Alex
would
did-
be well worth the money,
Right,
but also there just would not be county funds available for it at
Right.
this point in
yeah.
time.
And then Alex did show me a rough, obviously it would not be in as depth as what
Mhm.
Sarah is talking about, but she did show me a rough draft of what she could
Yep, and she
do
sent
for
that to me
Excel.
too.
So I guess we just have to think about how in depth we want to go with our
Mhm.
floor plan. And if that really is needed for the capital improvement. And I guess we could send it back to the foundation if that's really something us as a board would like to pursue. Any discussion over that, ladies?
Speak. So the
Yes,
price is 7,861.
No, that's the elevator.
That's the
Oh, that's just
elevator.
the elevator.
You're
Mhm. We're on this
one more
is-
packet.
This one is 2,432. And since a lot of this is looking at what can be additions and changes in the library, which are coming from.
No,
The-
Sarah said it can't be used for that. It
No,
can't be
no,
used
no.
for building.
No, what you're saying, it will help when you put in the lighting and the things that we've already talked about at the foundation. Didn't you say that?
Oh, but that's part of the approved capital improvement plan,
Right.
right?
That's why I'm saying it kind of corresponds with the foundation.
Right, putting it back towards the foundation, you're
Yes.
saying,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, sorry, Janet, thank you for that clarification.
Could I make a suggestion that you look at what I have? And I apologize for not being there. And then you guys can decide if you need to go in depth more with, from the EOP perspective, which is just what I am a part of, so.
Yes, thank you, Alex. We will for sure
Mhm.
look at what you've provided and I think we could,
Alex, did you just send the basement one to me? I think that's the only one I've gotten. I can
Yep.
send that on to them. Okay.
And we can definitely add and subtract from that as well. It's not something that has to be set. That's what the idea of meeting with a couple people and reviewing all of this would cover.
for sure. Thank you for that.
I have a question for Sarah. Is there a time frame that you want us to sign this if we're going to sign it, Sarah? The agreement?
Not necessarily, obviously. I mean, I don't have a set time frame. If it's more than like a few months, we would need to revisit it and just make sure there hasn't been any changes, but I don't have like I need this from you by the end of the week or anything. So
Okay.
So November 1st.
Yeah. I mean.
January
um,
1st.
The
Yeah.
next
I was gonna
foundation,
say maybe before next year, because things change at the end of the year, obviously, for us as well as
That's
everybody
what I
else.
would-
So, yeah.
Or December 31st.
So what I'm hearing is we will review both Alex's plan and this plan, possibly send this to the foundation for consideration. But I think first, as a board, we should look at Alex's plan as well. And then in September, we can discuss if what direction we would really like to go. And I'm gonna put that up to everyone involved, also Janet, Emily, and our French librarians, but mostly you guys will be looking at the one for Fort Benton, I think, at this time. All right. We'll be moving. Thank you, ladies, for being here. Thank you, Sarah and Alex. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
We'll be moving into new business. The next thing is the needs assessment for continuing education. This is just discussion. I've been kind of having this on my back burner for a while. I know we have our 3-hour one in October, which does cover our whole board requirement for the year. However, I feel like to build the best team here, continuing education is vital. And so I was wondering if there's anything you guys really feel would be beneficial for us to all look into. I, of course, have my suggestions, but wanted to hear from all of you on what you think our board would benefit most from in regards to continuing education.
I'd like to hear your suggestions. Yes. I know I do as many as possible with the MLA.
Sure, let me find my, I didn't stick it out, so give me just a minute.
Sometimes I don't get there at noon to do it live, but I do get it on YouTube.
Obviously, there's been several good ones from the state library that we could do as a whole and watch individually and then come and have a 20-minute discussion
would be
before.
The last
I-
one I just did was the one with the children.
Yep, that was a great one.
Mhm.
I was looking into, Emily suggested this in April, I think, but it was a budget one with Tracy. There's been a couple good ones about collection management, just to and further our knowledge about it. I think employee management would be great. There's also, I've been in discussion with Janelle Barber about our county extension agent about a continuing education course that Dan Clark and Ashley Kent, I think those are the correct names, put on. They have an hour-long one on our Montana State Library YouTube page. It was amazing. Really good information. But Janelle also offered that she could give us a possible spin-off on that. So that's something I could also pursue if you guys are interested in.
In what subject?
Basically running a board and all the laws that go into that, just so we all have the clarification and are on the same page for it.
I would be interested in that one, but I would love to do it in person rather than sitting
Yep.
in front of a YouTube
Yep.
video.
And that's
So
what I
if
wanted
she's
to know.
offered that, I'd say that's.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll be in touch with Janelle more about that. Is there anybody else that has any preferences? I know time to get together is difficult, but I think it's vital for us.
Yeah.
I think in the
I
past,
agree.
when we've done in person, we've also offered Zoom, especially if it's winter.
Yes.
That'd be an option.
Yep. I mean, for our members, if you can't make it physically, is
Yes.
that what you're saying? Yeah.
Like me,
Yeah.
when we have a blizzard.
Okay. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
And then,
Can I also
Yes,
make
please.
another suggestion?
Yep.
I think, what might also help is that for us to all kind of go home and think about what it is that we think that would benefit us as a board, and we can email you.
yep, I'd be
our
all for that.
suggestions.
Yep, I can put that in the plan and present that to you guys next. I'll try to have that ready by next, our September meeting.
But we could in the meantime,
Mhm.
so you have,
Yep,
okay,
for
I
sure.
think that would be.
Thank you. Okay, finally, in news business is our elevator repair. This is an action item.
so this is in addition, unfortunately, to the one that the special meeting was for in August, so.
And you said that this was found when he replaced, No.
Not this one, so
Okay.
the one that was voted on in August, was found, the battery backup that is not working was found during the regular annual. They come every year, or
Right.
every 4 months, 3 months quarterly. But so one person comes every 3 months and one person comes once a year. And so the backup battery was found during one of those regular assessments that was done. That was before the power outages we had after that big storm. So then we had that big storm. The next day there were power outages, power outages and glitches. So then what started happening was I realized on a Friday at the end of the day, locking up the building, we turned the elevator light off. And so usually push the button on the floor where we are, we have the key to turn the light off. I wanted to double check as I was leaving the building on the side door. So I just pushed the button on the ground level and the doors open, light was off, and I went, great, lights off, ready to go. Usually then the doors close fairly quickly. And the doors didn't close. And didn't close and didn't close. And so sometimes that happens. So I went in and I pushed the 3 to activate it to go back up, and it did not close and did not close. And so I was like, well, maybe it was the power outage that did that. So then what we started realizing after that was that there was just something wrong. And then you'd get on the elevator from the ground floor. When you get on just at the ground level and you push the button, it wasn't activating it. And then the alarm sounds, which it's not like a fire alarm. It's just a loud buzz. So then contacted, they sent someone. So you will see Janet next month, probably on the financials. We called, I explained the situation. They sent somebody to come and look at it. So we got that bill that is going to be it's just over $2,000 for just his visit to come and tell us that.
It's in this file, right?
It will be next month.
To come and evaluate.
To come and evaluate it. So what they found was the sensors at that ground level, there's something wrong with them. And this, I believe the amount is at the top of the 3rd page, page 3, for $7,800. I did let the commissioners know that this is something that the board was going to be looking at this meeting. This fee, this 7, since it's over 5,000, there's still money in that depreciation fund that is separate from the budget. So there are no budget amendments that need to be made. It's that separate money that the board, that is there for the board to use. So I have not responded to this order yet until the board had a chance to look at it. Again, the $2,000 was an invoice, was a bill that we received for him to come.
And so what did that come out of then?
It will come out of the professional fees. We have like $5,000 in that. So that will, and like I said before, the last 5 out of 6 years, we've only spent approximately 1,000 out of that. So I'm not worried about there not being money to pay that bill. But that was an emergent, I had to call. There wasn't time to wait.
Was there another bill that we've already paid to?
It's the 2,000 is what she's saying.
Oh, okay.
And then the one previously came out of our depreciation that we had our.
The one that was the meeting that we had in August, that was for the backup battery work that will be done.
Okay.
So this is a new separate. So
But will also be coming out of depreciation.
Is it for all 3 entrances? Or just the one that they think is not working?
He said it's just that ground floor, because when people get on the elevator from our floor, or when they get out in the basement, there's not any problems with those.
Okay.
You just push the button and it goes. So it's just something about the sensors on the ground.
Sorry.
Okay, can we talk to them without having another $2,000 visit about, is it wise to just replace one? Instead of this one doorway?
I could probably call and ask.
Because it strikes me if it's $2,000 visit, then maybe we should replace all 3 entrance
I can ask about that.
sensors in case they're going. Because they're gonna have more power bills.
I don't. One thing goes down, usually the rest go with.
Well, and that's, the elevator is approximately 30 years old, so.
30?
The new part of the building was finished in 94 and the elevator did not go in right away. But I mean, we're right around that.
So am I hearing we want to table this until September to ensure that we have that, or do we want to move forward?
I would like to know, I wouldn't mind a bid
Tabling?
to do all three, yeah. There's some more
Well, cause
research.
I mean, this was when after we had that last meeting and I reached out, they are already scheduling. Like,
Oh, they're coming at the same time, you're
well, I
saying.
don't know, but I mean,
They're scheduling out to like January to do
Yeah.
repairs.
and it's,
Okay, so it's.
you don't realize
time
how
sensitive.
much the elevator's being used until
It's not working.
it's not.
Yeah,
working
that's
great.
exactly how.
So I would like to ask the board to vote on it today. I can call and ask. Usually they're pretty upfront about what needs to be done. So if the other two did need to be done, I'm pretty sure that they would have.
And
Okay,
so then
set
would
that.
all of that, do you know the amount left in our depreciation that it could?
It was last
possibly-
time I looked, it was like 55,000.
So that could possibly just be a part of.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
sum, lump sum.
So
I wish I had a
When,
detailed bid.
when you talk to. When you talk to them, did they indicate that elevators have a life? That we're looking at the end?
no. I did talk just to someone else who has an elevator that they were told. But again, that is something usually those men that come are very upfront. And say, like, that was when the drinking fountain broke, the plumber came and said, it's not worth it to fix it. Or with the lighting guy comes and says, well, we still theoretically can do this, but it would be in your best interest to do, and that the elevator person has never said that, ever.
Okay.
So,
And we're legally obligated to be handicapped accessible, other than I suppose you can run books down to the entrance if the elevator's out.
prefer to be,
Yeah, you prefer to be, but we're
Definitely.
not breaking breaking the rules, breaking the laws. By having a dysfunctioning elevator.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So can we have a motion then to accept this bid? For the door repair on the basement level for now?
And then
Can we have a motion for that, please?
I make a motion to accept this bid with the potential to increase the amount if all three sensors need to be replaced.
Okay, is there a second?
I think.
Is there any further discussion? Public comment? All right, it has been moved and seconded to accept this order repair and possibly additional costs if needed for all sensors. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Alrighty. We're moving into public comment on items not on the agenda, but under the jurisdiction of the board. I ask that if you would like to do public comment, please state your full name and you have 3 minutes and may speak once.
I'm Cynthia Laddington. I have 2 questions. They don't need to be answered today, but I just want to throw them out there. I would like a little more clarification on memorial book placements and quorum count.
Will you say again, please, Cynthia? Quorum count? Yes. Thank you. Is there any other public comment? All right, seeing as there is none, our next meeting is September 24th, 2025 at noon. I would like to have a motion to adjourn this meeting. Oh.
Can we wait a minute?
Sure.
Well, I can't remember who I was talking to. I would like to look at the calendar because Christmas they're on Wednesdays. New Year's Eve are on Wednesdays. I think, and we probably should do this the sooner the better for all of us. And
You're saying for December and January meetings?
well,
November
and
okay.
yeah,
November,
Thanksgiving
December.
is in that time too.
Sure.
So we have to.
Could we do that at our September? I'll have our
Okay,
calendars and look at that at our September meeting.
yes,
Sounds
yes.
good. Okay. All right. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, ladies. We'll have a short break before we resume